So the first round of the Autumn Nations Series 2022 is done and dusted, and to be fair, I think it did actually live up to the hype. Obviously kicked off with Scotland and Fiji. Not the best of games. I thought Scotland would have dominated a little bit more than the scoreline suggested, but nonetheless they got the win. And then obviously Italy absolutely smashed it. I actually wish I picked a few more Italian players now. I think I only picked 2. But yeah, they absolutely went rampant at home. But also so did New Zealand away to Wales. Ireland, South Africa, again, as I predicted, a pretty boring game to be honest. But very tense as well, but obviously predominantly the kicking and physicality battle. France, Australia, and then obviously England and Argentina actually ended in the same score, but just flipped for the home and away teams. So 2 exciting games obviously to end, but to be honest, I thought, like I said, it did actually live up to the hype. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments of how you found all the games. So taking a look at my team then. First off, 617 points. I don't think it's too bad. I scored 16th overall in the JG Rugby League. For some reason it's only letting 50 people in, so I'll have to obviously just investigate that and come back to you guys on that one. But obviously, first off, we got to start with Hogg. So picked him as captain. I know that a few of you had other reservations about picking another captain like Ioane, but I just thought Hogg was a better pick. Obviously Italy a bit inconsistent sometimes, albeit against Samoa, but I thought Scotland at home to Fiji, especially after their performance against Australia, would be pretty dominant, and who would have thought that Hogg picked up a yellow card in the first half. So yeah, only 19 points for him, doubled, which obviously isn't great. Colby as well also got a yellow card. Don't know really what I expected from him. Obviously he can be one of the best players in the world, right? So 17 points isn't great really for a winger. But obviously Ioane absolutely smashed it. Highest performing player of the round. I think he did well over 100 metres made, and obviously got the 2 tries as well, which was superb. Mofana, I mean, playing on the wing, obviously should have picked Penaud, but obviously I picked Mofana as a centre, probably to try and just get a little bit more value from the centres, but there were probably other people I could have picked. But Rico Ioane, he did fantastic for me, to be fair. Going into the halfbacks, Marcus Smith, didn't perform very well at all, to be honest. Scoring 29 points, England, and Smith didn't really have that much of an effect, which is strange to say, but definitely probably looking to get another 10 for next week. Dupont did okay, 31 points, which isn't bad. He's obviously their star player, right? So he has the chance to make or break the game. So I think he was a solid pick nonetheless. Hamish Watson, a bit like Hogg really. Didn't perform too greatly. Obviously Scotland did get the win in the end, but I just feel like they didn't dominate the game at all very well. Aldry, pretty solid pick, I think. 50 points. He just seems to get through so much work without really being that noticed. So I just think he is a pretty decent and solid choice just week in, week out for fantasy. And obviously, off the back of that is Ardie Savea. Now, the guy is absolutely ridiculous. I think he actually got player of the match as well. Of course, a try too. So yeah, he's insane. If not, look, he's definitely one of the best players in the world right now. Now, Rutzer for Italy, they did okay. I actually did see that Canone was a second row in the game, but he actually started 8 for Italy, and I think he got a try too, so that was just a bit of a mind lapse for me. Probably should have picked him instead. But look, I'm happy with Tydeburn. He just got 28 points. A good win for Ireland, of course, but yeah, Burn just gets through so much work all the time, so I think that's a solid score for him. Showman as well for Scotland, bit like Hogg and Watson, didn't do too much for me, but if you can see there now, all my front row, scored 16 points really. Not the best, but I guess for a front row, you can't ask for too much. And then of course we come to my bench, where I think I hit the nail pretty well on the head here. Obviously Takiyaho came off the bench, I think it was around the 60-minute mark, like I said, and obviously picked up that try in the final play of the game. So yeah, he scored me almost 100 points, which was a game changer for me. Joe Cokanasiga as well, probably should have started him, but look, who would you start, him or Colby? Probably Colby, right? But yeah, he did pick up a try, got me a decent points, obviously halved being on my bench. And yeah, Tommy Rafal got taken off pretty early actually, which I thought was a little bit unfair on him. But look, he just made up the numbers with the budget really. So that's my team. Let me know how you guys did. Obviously, I can see some of you guys in the JG Rugby League did pretty well, to be fair. I can see that Ryan is currently topping with almost 760 points, which is actually a really decent score. I don't know where that puts you in terms of the total rankings, but I would say it was pretty up there. So looking at the top performers of this round, obviously Buffelli for Argentina absolutely smashed it. He scored a try and also kicked all their goals and points too, which, yeah, he had a pretty much of a stormer game. So he's definitely one to look at going forward. He obviously plays fullback and wing, and also got the kicking option, right? So yeah, I think that's a pretty decent pick going forward. I believe they have Wales on the weekend, so if it's anything like England, then look, they can get the win. Damien Penaud also was one that got away from me. Could have picked him instead of Colby, which would have been, yeah, just a straight swap with the amount of budget they cost. I think he is the top international try scorer this year, so he can't be underestimated. And they actually face South Africa this round, so got to keep an eye out for him. Now, one of the most interesting stats of the round that I saw was Ramos for France actually made the most carries for France on the weekend and did it with just under 140 metres. And he also kicks for them as well, so that's obviously a pretty decent option. Obviously, as I mentioned, they're playing up against South Africa, so the kicking game will be massive too. So if he kicks a goal, he will probably get a pretty decent amount of points. So he's definitely one to look for. Monty Ioane obviously smashed it that round, my top point scorer. He actually faces Australia this week. And look, I think he is set for another pretty decent game. I think if they perform anything like they did against Samoa, then they could seriously threaten Australia. And then, of course, you've got Ardie Savea as well, who I think is a must-have in that back row. There's so many back row options, but I think he is just so consistent, obviously along with Aldreet. Up against Scotland, who didn't really impress me or many people, to be honest, last weekend. So he'll definitely be one to look out for. I'll obviously post my team selection video on Friday again. That's just because all the teams come out on Friday. Most of them will come out tomorrow, which is Thursday, but the Scotland and New Zealand teams will come out on Friday. So video will be live on Friday night, but yeah, we'll speak more around who I'm selecting and best players to pick really. So if you did enjoy the video, then please give it a like, and good luck everyone for the upcoming round, but I'll see you on Friday for team selection for round 2.